Hey everybody, so we're back today and I'm going to be working on the kitchen area. I'm going to start framing out the countertop cabinetry, so I guess just let's get started. So I'm thinking I want to go somewhere around this same height, right? So that'd be about looks to be about 19 inches. The thickness of the board is exactly 1 inch. Yeah, so probably 18 inches will be all of the vertical supports that I'll use. So another thing is the orientation of the sink. So I could do it this way, kind of like at a corner at a 45 maybe. I tend to like this way the best. Go ahead and kind of just see how much room I have in this seat here again, just to make sure that it's comfortable enough for me to be passenger. Yeah, see, we lost quite a bit of room here. Okay. Alright, that's good to know. So basically it starts where the gray water tank is. Not a problem. Oh wow, the skeeters are everywhere. Alright, so I said 18 inches. I'm gonna go cut some of these at 18. Hang on to your ears, it's gonna get loud. He's all melted. Can't go through all the way. Oh wow, that's nice. Okay, so kind of got a starting point here, right? Not to say it's going to stay like that, but what I want to do is run another one like somewhere around here. But I want it to be parallel, or 90 degrees to where perpendicular to where I'm standing. So we'll need to locate that as well. It's 23 inches over there. I think the goal was 24. It's kind of like this. Well, I mean, the easiest part is if you know you want the outer dimension to be 24, or 48, and this is 2.5. 2.5 times 2 is 5, right? So 24 minus 5 is what? 19 inches. So if these were 18 inches, if we do one at 19, it will actually locate this spot for us. So we'll come over from here. So I'll need another one of these at 19. I'll be right back. Alright, all I have to do is line up the edge to be parallel, and then I'll be able to bolt it like that. So, let's just use these screws. Okay, so the wood is splitting right here. These screws are too big. Okay, I won't use them to do the sides. Yeah, that's too big. I would have had the pre-drill. So I'll be using the other hardware for this part. It's good to know though. Alright, let's use this other hardware here. Maybe what I'll do is the next board here, yeah. The far side board. Okay, something like that. Now maybe if I clamp it, it'll be a little better. Yep. Ooh. It's got to come up a bit. Alright, there we have it. Ooh. Let's get my square. Alright, that looks good to me. Okay. Let's put another one. Okay, that's pretty rock solid, right? Nice. But yeah, I'm thinking what we'll do next is box this in. So we'll do one more, and then we'll get the measurement from there to there. And this one I'll probably orient this way. Just to put a little pressure on it so I can manipulate it while I'm putting those brackets on. If I had a pocket hole jig, that would help. You know, I like this better. See, there's like grain, wood grain, it goes around. The screw goes around and it goes. Ay, ay, ay. Okay, this thing is a whole lot sturdier now that I added that corner piece in. There still needs to be one that's going to go over that way. 61 inches all the way back there. Ooh, so at the bottom it's 58. I'll go 58. This will have to do. Something like that. So let's get another one of these in there. Okay. I'm gonna inset this in 1 inch so that I have like a little lip or overhang. This is exactly 1 inch thick. That's as good as it gets right there. Ooh. Perfect. Okay, perfect. Alright, so essentially all I have left to do for this next part is to square this up. Looks good to me. Alright, and then the last step is to just screw this in. I'm gonna pre-drill it a little bit. Okay, so that's pretty much most of this back area here. So I know I want to put a propane tank around here somewhere. So I lined this edge up with the door so that it wouldn't interfere, but there'll still be an overhang on the countertop. So I want to put one beam over and down, and then I want to put another beam here and here and connect them, but I want it to sandwich in the propane tank. So I want to be able to lift out the propane tank and put it back. Alright, so we know we want one right here. Okay, so that should be square. Yep. Close enough, right? And then I'll want that there. Go ahead and get one of these set up with an L bracket. Okay. Okay, so that's ready to go. Got one there. I think I'm gonna dry fit the propane tank now. Let's get it in here. This one's old and grody, but I'll be getting a replacement soon. All right, so I think what we'll do next is kind of, all right, so I'll come up a little bit, right? So somewhere around there, and put like a support in there. Let's see here. So I know the verticals we did, but I also want to do the horizontals as well. So we should probably figure that out. So that's square. At 16. So I'm going to cut one at 16. I know that I need it up here and I need it down there. I need it up here to support the top that's going in. Good morning. So I'm back at the van and I'm wanting to finish the installation of the countertop / storage. Maybe like one more 18 over there at the corner, and then one more cross, and then I should have one over there, 2, and then 3, 4 more pieces or so, and I should be ready to start the top. So let's just get started. Get a measurement and then go across. Okay, so I've prepared this crossover corner piece to be mounted here and here. Perfect. Okay, so it's getting stronger and stronger. So what I want to do now is run it, square it up, and I want to run a support from here to there. Okay, so what I want to do next is square this up, pull a measurement from there to this board or over there, and run it straight across. If you measure closer to the bottom, you can get a more accurate 90-degree length. Perfect. Oh, it's right on like a 32.5 inches. It's right. I'm gonna go cut one from here, so it's here, to get right at 32. And I think it's 32.5, right? Yeah, 32 and a half. Look just like that. Same. Yep. Shift it over. Best I can do. Right now, this one I'm pretty sure I can clamp nicely, so I'm going to do that. Alright, so that's pretty much set just like that. Ay, ay, ay. I'm in such a contorted position, it's not funny. Oi. Okay. So lastly, it's this part right here. Just need 2 more in there and we're done. Okay. Just thinking something like this will do. Kind of to pull it all together. Alright, just like that. Square this up. And then draw my line. Square this up too. That's square already. It's pretty much square. Okay. Framing for this kitchenette is done. Alright guys, so I basically am going to be using this material as my top, and what I plan to do is cut them the length and then glue them together and make a platform that way. Alright guys, so it looks like I've got the countertop figured out. I'm going to cut these down to length, and then what I'll do is I'll take some of the offcuts and I'll add that section by the sink in with the offcuts and cut those to match as well. And then align those to the opposite end, because it's like a letter P. So yeah, it's 18 inches. I'm going to take the tongue off this side and the groove off this side. I'll rip it down with the table saw for the first and the last board. But I'm going to cut them the length first. planking laid out. I won't need all of this. I'm probably going to go ahead and take the, I'll probably take a measurement from here to roughly here where the door is, because I'm going to add a couple more planks on over here. But so I'll need the tongue here, but I won't need the tongue all the way over here, or maybe I will just leave it there for simplicity's sake, and then just rip this down. Yeah, I'll probably do that. Table saw. Alright, so I just got done ripping this down, and now we're ready to glue this set together. This should give us the exact dimension of most of the top. What then we're going to do is take the cut-offs, get them cut the length, but also add them to this part. This is kind of like where the sink will go. And this is where the door opens and closes. This is where the fender is. Looks like we're about 26.5 inches straight back. I mean, I could go a little bit longer than 26.5. I could go all the way to 28.25. We'll do 28.25 and cover some of this gap in here. Alright, so it looks like only one board's needed to cover that gap. Alright, so we're back and I'm ready to start gluing the countertop. So let me just pull these apart one by one and reassemble it. Lastly, it's the tongue. Yeah, so when putting this glue on, you definitely want to be generous. Again, it won't stick to the floor, it'll just dry and chip off. Alright, that does look good. Align this a little better here before it sets. Alright, let's go ahead and clamp. It's hot today. Wow, I have to check the temperature. Alright, now that I've glued this, I'm going to get my bucket of soap water and a sponge and just sop this up. Technically you could leave all of this glue in here like that and just sand it off afterwards, but I like keeping that contour that you get when you clean it, so I'll be right back. I gotta get my water. Alright, so I'm back with some water and a sponge. And I'm just gonna quick quick pass at this. It's so hot out, this stuff's gonna dry pretty quick today. Now it looks better. I used, what, about half a bottle of glue so far. That was brand new. Alright, so we just let that dry. Hey guys, so the next thing I want to work on is the gray water tank, right? And I want to put a barb fitting hose with a ball valve relatively low to the bottom, but not too low, because you want any, like, let's say you have a little bit of rice or something like that that falls to the bottom, it doesn't go out through the hose. So yeah, I'm basically just going to drill so let's see, I know that I want this facing the passenger seat like 45, and then I'll probably want the hose to come out maybe like over here. Alright, so let me get a drill bit and the drill and some caulk, and we'll seal this up. I'm missing the drill bit I need. I can go a little smaller. Let's see here. That'll do. It's a little bit too small. I'm going to go one size up. Perfect. Can I get access to the leftover from here? Yep, that worked. All right, so let's get it on the threads on, let's see, on this side, yeah. And then I'll manually put it on the other side. There we go. Put that on there. Oh, wait. There we go. Push this through here. That. And then go ahead and put sealant on this side all the way around. it's uber messy. Alright, there you go. That's all the way tight. I'll just clean my tools up. Alright, get my tools cleaned up a little better. Just using a little IPA on isopropyl alcohol on the paper towel. It gets all that sticky stuff off. Essentially, I'll be able to run a 1/4 inch silicone hose with a ball valve on it out and then through the floor, and it will trickle the gray water out. So I left about a 1 inch. I left about 1 inch off the bottom of the bucket so that it will trap, like I said before, any sort of solids. And you could just rinse it out with a hose. Looks good. Should seal completely. Good morning, everybody. We're on the next day, and I have unclamped the countertop, and I'm just dry fitting it right now. It looks like I have an area over there by the D pillar, or I guess that would be B pillar, right? So by the B pillar, that has to be cut out just a little bit. I'll use a jigsaw for that. But other than that, this is a perfect fit. Yeah, so let's just get started. Yeah, so right here you see how it's hitting the B pillar. So I'm gonna go and mark with the pencil a little bit and take the tongue off. And then this way, this whole thing can slide back without that gap right there. And then I'll do the cutout for the sink. All right, so I'm back with a pencil, and I'm just gonna mark off where on the tongue do I want to cut off. So let's give that a try. Alright, it's flush on this side. And it should be overhanging on this side. I wanted it overhanging. It all looks good enough for me. Alright, so I have this weighted down, and I have these L brackets already mounted to the frame, so I'm just going to go underneath and screw it up into there. Alright guys, so it looks like the countertop is now mounted and it's secure. Now the next thing we need to do is to trace out the shape of the sink. So I'll need to take some measurements of the sink, and then we'll just center it in here, drop it in, and I'll probably use the clamps that it came with, but I'll also run a bead of caulking around it. Let's get started on that. Okay, so essentially it's 16 inches wide, right? So I'm gonna square it up. That looks good. So I definitely want to run it as close as I can to the supports without going too close. So somewhere around here, so roughly 5 inches. I know that it's 16 inches plus a little bit, so I'll go 16 and a 16th. Okay, it's hot out, but this would have to be the length, and then this would be the width. So from here to there is 16. So I kind of need to measure front to back, right? 16. And 16. Let's see that way. And the 16th would be right here. Measure twice. Like 18 and a quarter plus a 16. So 4, 5/16 would be to here. Alright, so let's get some final measurements. 18 and a quarter plus. $16 and an eighth. 16 and an eighth. So let me see, where's that metal bracket stuck at? Okay, and then there's also a corner piece with a steel bracket right here. So this is not going to work. I need to move it down a bit. I need to move it this way. It's really close, by the way. It's really close. Almost would work. I'm still good just to be safe. Gonna move it down an inch. And how about this area? Yeah, there's nothing in that way right there. $18 and a quarter. And a quarter. Alright, basically I'm going to move this down by, oh, it's right there, half an inch. I don't think I could move it a whole inch. I could move it a half an inch. Move it a whole inch. There. There. Yeah, I should be able to make it. You won't see this plank, it's going to get cut out. Okay, one more time. 2 and a quarter plus, 2 and a quarter plus, 16. So it's a little shy. Let me leave this edge and move this edge all the way to there, and we'll carve into the into that groove, and that'll give me a little extra room there. Got 16 and an eighth. All right, we're ready to cut. Alright, so we're back, and I've already drilled the corners to the sink, and now I'm just going to cut it out. Alright, corners are ready. The sink should drop right in. Alright guys, so I'm back. All I want to do is transfer this circle where the pipe is on the lid. That's all I want to do. And then what I want to do is put a hole in the lid right there. So let's go get that done. Alright, I'm back. Basically all I'm going to do is be drilling a hole and then I'll fill the edges with hot glue to make a nice seal, and I should still be able to lift the pipe in and out of there. So here we go. And that's it. Alright, so now it's time to dry fit everything together. it's hard to get on. Whee. Alright, this looks good to me. Probably don't even need it. That's a pretty good tight fit. It's perfect. Okay. Looks like I didn't need that piece. I'll go ahead and return that. I still need to do the drain. There's no putty on it yet, so I was just dry fitting everything to make sure it all fit. Yeah. But I do think that it is probably a good time to start talking about how I'm gonna mount this sink. So first things first is I need to get my caulk out and basically just run a bead of caulk, a whole bead of caulk underneath the sink and around the edges there. So essentially I want to run a wire wheel against the surface of the sink. Alright, so now I've cleaned up this whole edge, I'm ready to caulk it. So I found this used tube of caulk, so I'm going to try and see if I can get that to work. Yeah, that's solid caulk. have to get my sponge and water going here to make that smooth. Alright, so the last step will be to put the hose fitting on the lid, on the bucket. So, so we did the hose fitting, that's right. So there it is, it's probably dry by now, good. So we're ready for the hose and the clamps and all of that jazz, and some vacuuming. Alright, so I'm back, and I have with me a little mini ball valve. So I want to just check and make sure it's a good fit, a good enough fit. It's pretty loose. I would expect it to be a little tighter. Okay, so these clamps won't do either. Alright. So, how about these clamps? Wow, these are big. Well, they go all the way around, so I should be alright. Go ahead and do my first bit of clamping here. Okay, that's tight. Yeah, that's not spinning. Alright, so this is done. So, okay, so it's got to go all the way over to the other side first, and then come back. So, let me fish this over to the other compartment. It goes straight through there. Right, so it's got to go this way. And then back. Down through there. So I'm using the cabling, or the hose, I should say. I'm pulling it kind of tight. So the next thing I want to do is kind of put this ball valve on the circuit, right? So it's closed right now. So basically just like right here. So it'll just stay down there, and when I want to use it, I'll open it up and water will start flowing out based on pressure. So go ahead and give it a little cut here, clamp on it. Definitely want to have this clocked correct. So it's kind of like all these things have to come together there, just like that. Ooh, it's kind of loose. Better. Still. This has to be tight, or otherwise it will leak. So it's not turning as easily, but it's still turning. There we go, that's gotta be good. Maybe a little bit more. Of course I will test it. Oh yeah, that's not even turning anymore. Perfect. So now I'm going to return the line because I want the water to be draining on that side of the car because most of the time I'll be parked curbside. So just need one more clamp. Okay, that's got to be tight. Let's see here. Oh yeah, tight. So I'll fish this line back through there. Okay. And just so that I know I'm not pulling this line back, I'm gonna go ahead and keep it like that. Okay, I'm gonna slowly pull this bucket out. Set it aside there. Gonna reach in and grab my hose. Leaving a little bit extra in there. Okay, so according to my calipers, it's looks like about maybe like 3/8, and I could squeeze a 3/8 through there. Let me see. Yeah, so there's absolutely nothing underneath the minivan right here. Okay, I think I'm gonna do a pilot hole, like a smaller one first, and then go bigger. Okay, here we go. First hole in the van. Piece of cake. All right, and that's it. All right. So the final step to the Graywater Home Depot tank with the ball valve would be to cut the hose and feed it through the hole that I just cut. So here we go. perfectly. All right, and it's out of the way of the bucket, so we should be good there. How are we doing on the seal? Was I able to close that all the way? Seems like it. All right. And so now that we have the drain tube all hooked up and the valve closed, we still need to restore the pipes. So let's get started on that. Oh, the gasket is off. See, like I said, this is really important and we didn't even check it. So we need to make sure this gasket right here is on there. It wasn't. Okay. And then I'm just going to hand tighten this one. And hand tighten this one. And hand tighten this one. And hand tighten that one. All right, so I kind of use this sink as some storage while I was working. Take everything out of the sink and put some water in it and see if it leaks. Alright, so technically the ball valve is completely closed, right? So I probably could go ahead and check for leaks at this point. So the sink is now drained out all the way. The 5-gallon drum is probably more than halfway full. I'm not quite sure. Probably could turn it a bit. Like that. Make it prettier. Yeah, like that. pretty much as tight as I can make it. I can go a little tighter. That's as tight as I can make it. Alright, let's check the hatch and make sure nothing's leaking from the bucket. Yeah, there he goes. See, the water's leaking out. Total stealth vibe. It looks like the air conditioner. Is that not awesome? I love it. So as you can see, I have the countertop done, but I'm not quite sure how I want to do the electric panel, and I want a monitor I want to mount in here, and a little SBC computer, 12 volt. So yeah, I have a lot of thinking to do. Over here would be the bed. Maybe I'll do a platform, not quite sure. Elevating the bed off the floor will afford me the ability to use it as a seat too during the day, like a day bed. But I'm not quite sure if I want to do that just yet. Well, that's it for this video. I look forward to the next project. This is Andy from Teensy Roamer saying, I can't wait to roam.